Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Early Edge. Thanks for already being in the chat. Big Cheesy, Bradley Jacobs, Mark Buckholtz, Brandon Silva. It is going to be a great day full of picks. We're monitoring the Open Championship. Perhaps we're monitoring the Barracuda. We hit that 60-1 shot yesterday. Let's take a look at the recap screen. And we don't have much here, right? We didn't have much on the board the last couple of days in terms of the next day it playing out. But we do have a couple of my golf matchups from the last 2 days. We went 1-1. We hit the plus money play. We lost the Tom Kim minus 115 play. I'll tell you what, though. If you read my SportsLine article, if you watched the early wedge with me, Patrick McDonald, and Eric Cohen, we are looking very good. I've got Shane Lowry at 45-1, Patrick Cantley at 45-1, Corey Connors at 70-1. A lot of our plays are in play. And, of course, at the Barracuda, a lot of you who follow me cashed that 60-1 shot in back-to-back weeks. But enough about me, folks. We got to bring in the stars of the show for BPE Friday. Gentlemen, how we doing? Buckets? Oh, wait, Skip. Chip, I mean. What's with the shirt? What's going on there?
Oh, I was looking for my horns, but I can do it. You ready? Good morning, Sia. Good morning, Buckets. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Harry. Northwestern's finest. Good morning, Early Edge fam. Woo! We can do it a cappella, Acapulco. You know it. We got winners. Let's go.
How was that for a chip me up? That was, I don't even know what to say, Mike. Even you were smiling. Even you put the book to the side there. That was very impressive. Buckets, your reaction?
Mike, did you even have the book ready? I feel like caught us all a little bit off guard.
You're lucky I was in the seat even. I had to run real quick as soon as the show started. I got back just in time.
I was Googling fun dance moves, and I'm sitting here looking like this going, But no, I'm good here, Sia. I'm glad to be here, Chip. I feel like you did an amazing job. I'm glad you're here considering the new NCAA game is out. I didn't know if we'd see you or not, but I'm just happy to see all these beautiful faces in front of me.
Yeah, Chip Patterson right now is doing the hard sell, trying to lock down the last pieces of App State's 2025 recruiting class. But Chip Patterson is here, IRL.
Well, I think it might be Skip Patterson from now on. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. But we're going to skip past what we normally do. Buckets, normally we start with your soccer picks. I want to get right into the picks. And part of the reason is because we still have a 3-ball that we can play at the Open Championship. In fact, we have a few 3-balls that we can play. There's one that I actually like, though. I mean, this does feel like a force to some degree because we only have basically 3 groups left to tee off. But I actually like this one, so I'm not going to call it a force. I've got a round 2 3-ball for the Open Championship. You can find this right here, right now. Keegan Bradley at another plus number, plus 125 against Will Zalatoris and Gordon Sargent. Now, Gordon Sargent, the amateur, or amateur, depending on how you pronounce that. Listen, he's pretty good for an amateur, but I just don't think he factors in completely here. His lack of experience, I think, is really going to show up. The conditions are going to be really tough this afternoon with the wind. If you've been following it, you know the wind is already starting to pick up. It's going to get a little gruesome out there. So it really comes down to Keegan Bradley versus Will Zalatoris. And Will Zalatoris, he had an okay round yesterday, as did Keegan. I guess they were okay. But I really trust Keegan round to round more than I trust Will Zalatoris, and that's mostly because of the recent form. If you look at past form at Open Championships, I mean, Keegan Bradley's not going to do you any favors. He's constantly missing cuts. But in this particular case, Will Zalatoris, he's just not in the form we need him to be. He's been missing cuts almost every time the last 4 or 5 tournaments. He's just not been there. I think in these tough conditions, while he's a good course fit for these conditions, in my opinion, I just don't think he's going to find the swing. I didn't mind Keegan Bradley's metrics yesterday. I feel like I'm getting a head-to-head here. Keegan Bradley at plus 125 against a Will Zalatoris that still seems a little injured and bothered by his back, and an amateur in Gordon Sargent. Give me the plus 125 all day. All right. If you have a 3-ball that you like, unfortunately, a lot of books don't have Barracuda matchups out. I don't know that any books have Barracuda matchups out. They just have outrights out right now, which is a little lazy. I'm a little disappointed. Maybe it's because the Open Championship is a major and all of their resources are going there. But again, Barracuda, we've got some outrights in play there too. If you want to make any of these bets, and I understand there's some internet outage issues going on around the world. It's not just with sports books. It's with airlines and metro systems and whatever you want to call it. It's not a security issue from my understanding. It's just an update issue and things didn't go through as smoothly as they needed to go. But BetMGM, new BetMGM customers, I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, perhaps actually 1,000 times, maybe 1,500 times. Because if you sign up today, you can get up to $1,500 in bonus bets. Just place your first wager of at least $10 and you'll receive up to $1,500 instantly. If your bet loses with bonus code EDGE, that's bonus code EDGE, EDGE. All right, Buckets, we got to get to your soccer picks. Chip, we got to get to your golf pick, which I think is a really good play and a very nice plus number. Mike, baseball is back. We got to get to your pick. We got to get to all the picks in the chat. Big Cheesy says Bobby Witt, 2+ total bases at plus 149. There's plus numbers everywhere. No run first inning, San Diego, Cleveland. I like that one. We're going to hear about all of the picks right after this message from our partners.
Well, you need your sports news anywhere?
We've got breaking news to bring you.
Then get your sports anytime you want them. Big trade news overnight to discuss.
Because we know you need sports all the time.
A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
A legend adds to their legacy.
We're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
CBS Sports HQ, anywhere, anytime, all the time.
Welcome back to the Early Edge presented by BetMGM. Searsist has found an even better number on my 3-ball. Check him out in the chat. Listen, always looking for better numbers. Thank you for pointing that out. Moshi pointing it out as well. Get the plus 140 instead of the plus 125. All right. Well, we got soccer. Buckets. We've had this baseball layoff. Baseball's finally back, but I got to be honest, I've been longing for soccer ever since Euro 2024 Copa America. I started to watch a little bit more soccer. I now think I'm a soccer handicapper because I don't know why I think that, but like either way, you're the soccer handicapper. You got a couple of plays for us. What are they?
Sia, you are welcome to join me in these matches. You can give your feedback on both of these picks and let me know what you think. But today I'm focusing on bullies. I'm focusing on the big dogs of their leagues that just like to beat up on the little guys. And we're starting in the Latvian versus Liga, which is the Latvian higher league. And this match starts at 11 Eastern. So you have an hour to get this bet in. I'm looking at the game between Riga FC and Jelgava. And I'm taking over 1.5 goals in the first half at minus 125 here. Again, this match starts in an hour, but Riga, they are just mean. I mean, there's not a better way to put it. Riga, when they play little teams, when they play defensively lacking teams like Jelgava, who has the worst defensive record in all of Latvia, they do not slow down. This is a team that could be up 4-0 at halftime, and their manager is yelling at their players, why did you not get 5 or 6? 1.5 is my favorite way to play this in the first half because I can't find team totals available yet for this game. They might open up here shortly, but take the better team that dominates at home, that is looking for a big match here against Jelgava. Then for the second match, we are going to the Swedish Allsvenskan in a matchup between Sirius and Malmo. Malmo are the big dogs of this league, and Malmo are coming off of, frankly, a bizarre and kind of embarrassing loss to Mjölby. So they will be looking for an immediate bounce back. And if anyone is going to bounce back on this team, it is going to be Swedish striker Isaac Thalen. We're taking his anytime goal score at plus 100. He has 13 starts this season with 11 goals and 3 assists. He is averaging a goal every 90 minutes right now of play time. Sirius is a good team, but they're not a defensively good team. They're a very foot on the gas, pushing forward kind of club here. So I think Malmo get at least 3 goals here. And if they're going to get 3 goals against anyone, Thalen should get at least one of those, if not picking up a brace. Sia.
All right. We got the minus 125. We got the plus 100. I can tell you those are Sia Nejad approved buckets. I also studied those plays and I came to the same exact conclusions, unless they lose, and then I didn't. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm trying to keep my 100% pick rate. Remember, Buckets, like a few months ago, I hit a bet and I was celebrating it on this show. And then somebody in the chat, you were too nice to be like, to say what the chat said, which was, Sia, that pick you made over 2.5 goals was like minus 750.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I realized it wasn't much of a pick.
The match was like Liverpool versus Northside High School, and you gave out over 2.5 picks. Goals. I remember that one. That was good.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Speaking of picks, Joseph Rackett has Justin Steele over 4.5 strikeouts. Brian Grebbins has the Mets money line. I believe Brian said it might have been Brian. He said that was the best chip me up of all time. So compliments to you, Skip Patterson. Buckets, go ahead.
Real quick here, if you don't mind, I am currently watching my dog pee on the floor in front of me, so I'm going to turn my camera off real quick and go get her outside, okay? That work for everyone?
I'm just not sure we needed the detail, my friend.
You needed the detail. You needed the detail.
Real quick. Okay. If only we could have gotten that on camera. We've had some dog antics on camera before. All right, Mike McClure, you've got to play today in MLB. We're finally back with MLB, and this is a team that we've been talking about for a couple of weeks in the outright market a little bit, but also like to win the division, and we like them to win tonight as well. It's a late game. What do you like?
Yeah, it's the Houston Astros here, Sia, and this AL West race is going to be fascinating as we close the season, but I like this matchup for them. Played them plus 112. You can find it plus 105 currently. I would play it all the way to minus 108, which is where I make them. This Seattle team, while they're off to a decent start in the win-loss column, not a great team offensively, especially against right-handed pitching. They're ranked 27th in Major League Baseball in weighted on base average against the righties and have the highest K rate by a significant margin. That's a big deal when you got a guy like Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown has struggled at times this season, but where he has pitched well is in these extreme pitching environments against teams that he's able to rack up strikeouts against. That's exactly what he's got here against Seattle. And then on the other side, this Astros team, they are still one of the best teams in Major League Baseball against right-handed pitching. I've got them 8th currently, and I think that you could make the case that they're truly a top 5 offense because they do not strike out really against any side of the plate, but particularly against right-handed pitching here. So I make Houston a slight favorite in this one. I make them a favorite the rest of the way in this division, but I think this environment itself, which is the best pitching environment in Major League Baseball, is exactly what Hunter Brown needs to put together quality starts. Love the Astros here tonight, plus 105, plus 112, wherever you can get it.
Let's go! Let's go! First to 37 starts tonight. Come on, let's go!
That's right. That's right. I mean, listen, like Hunter Brown, you've been on him, Mike McClure, and I was like, I've mentioned this before. I think it was his first or second start of the season. He got absolutely lit up. I mean, he's been very, very good, and I really like fading Seattle in terms of their hitters. And if Hunter Brown can be hot, and again, I'll say it again for probably the third or fourth time, I do like the Astros to win this division. And Mike, that you're probably not looking at it right now, but that's going to flip real soon. I mean, all it's going to take is the Astros to rattle off 1 or 2 wins, and all of a sudden that's not plus money anymore, right?
Yeah. It'll likely, I mean, if everything goes well tonight and the rest of the weekend, it'll be by the end of the weekend.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this, Mike. Do you have an opinion on, there's a 220 game. It's Ryan Nelson versus Justin Steele, the D-backs and the Cubs. I do like the D-backs to close and maybe make the playoffs this year. I'm not asking you to give a pick, but I just noticed there was a few people in the chat that like Justin Steele props, and seems like people are leaning to the Cubs here at home. I'm a big proponent of fading Ryan Nelson, but he hasn't been quite as horrific as I thought he'd be this season.
Yep.
He's had some good spots. Do you have an opinion on that game? And it's minus 148, but anything you'd lean to in this afternoon game?
I lean just into pitching in general when you come off the long break. Hitters, I say long break. It's been multiple days, obviously. It's difficult sometimes to get back up to game speed in terms of seeing pitches. So typically pitching advantage in the day or two after the All-Star break. Having said all that, it's also extremely good pitching weather today in Chicago. It's 75 degrees, winds blowing in. Lean into Steele a little bit, but I haven't run any numbers on the game because it was an early game.
All right, fair enough. Absolutely love it. All right, what is it? Pip Chatterson? I think that's what we're going with. Not Skip, not Chip.
Yeah, Pip Chatterson is the name of my dynasty head coach and has been for like 10 plus years. So that's where that came. When I said Pip Chatterson is working on App State's recruiting class, that was the reference to.
How has the outages today affected the Tripalytics at all? You guys running a PC or a Windows or a Mac over there?
Come on, Linux, baby. You know the Tripalytics run on Linux. Let's go. We are CrowdStrike free here. That's the Tripalytics. Thankfully, have not been impacted by the faulty upgrade.
That's huge. Well, you've got an open championship pick for us. And it's interesting because I was looking at, because there was a lack of, because of the timing of the open championship, there was a lack of opportunity to bet a lot of matchups and 3 balls. So I was looking at the top 10, top 20 market. I didn't land on anything, but you did. And you're getting a really nice price for a one Justin Rose. What's the play?
Yeah, we're going to go Justin Rose, top 10. And I would grab this now. He is on the course as we are speaking. Saw it at plus 200 right before we got going. And the thing that stands out to me, number one, is going to be the ball striking that he showed in round one. It was the best in the field. And you started to see that Justin Rose, when he starts to figure things out, he just builds so much confidence. It can build throughout the course of a championship. When he's a little bit rattled, when it feels like he's just hanging on, then you know you're going to have some ups and downs. And everything that we've seen so far in round two suggests that it is going to follow that Justin Rose playbook of being able to build confidence. Also, in round one, I mean, we're right back in one of the old school Chipalytics golf plays when you are excellent on your approach game and you're just not really getting anything with the putter. Well, usually the sticky stat is the ball striking, and you're going to end up rolling in some putts later on over the course of 72 holes. Didn't really do anything with the putter in round one. Already has a couple birdies on the card here in round two. So yeah, plus money, Justin Rose, top 10. I think that he's going to be able to be a factor in this Open Championship. You know that he's going to understand how to play the conditions and adjust his game to it. So I like Rosie to be able to find the fountain of youth here at Royal Troon.
Let me ask you this, Chip, and then Mike, I might toss this back to you because of the timing of things and because we miss out on a lot of matchups in the middle of the night, at least for purposes of this show. I want to know, Chip, is there anybody, because Scottie Scheffler's reintroduced himself to this championship. He's closed the tournament, or I should say round two, pretty well. His odds are now plus 360 across most markets. We still have Shane Lowry in the lead at plus 180. And then it drops down. Justin Rose is plus 1,600. We've got guys like Patrick Cantlay, who I bet on with Shane Lowry. That's plus 1,800. Go down the board to a Corey Connors, who's not far back at plus 2,500. Billy Horschel, interesting. A lot of people, I should say some people thought he'd play well here. I wasn't one of them, but he's playing really well. Is there anybody from an outright standpoint that you think can chase down Lowry and basically pass Scottie Scheffler?
Honestly, Cantlay and Rose definitely can. The guy that I liked a bit and didn't bet this week, Joaquin Niemann. Mm-hmm. Joaquin Niemann is lurking. We'll see. He's just getting going today, but he put together a pretty solid round yesterday. I mean, even par round is a really solid round around this golf course right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you've got to love where Scottie is personally. If you like Scottie, but yeah, for me, it's going to be Rose, Cantlay, Niemann, maybe Corey Connors still. I just really worry about the putter. Unfortunately, he's just awesome, tee to green. But yeah, I think that Niemann, Cantlay, Rose would be contenders.
Yeah, good Chip. Go ahead.
Yeah, one I fired on last night just to try to get it in was picking up a little outright piece of Brooks. That didn't go well. Shot 2 over today. Probably needed that to be about 3 strokes better. I'm not overlooking the X-Man. You want to talk about somebody who certainly has the game to throw together a 3 under, and get back into it. I think Schauffele is a live play as well. And then one of my longer shots, even pre-tournament, that I'm still holding on to, Tony Finau. Yep. He's lurking. And I think that he could be able to at least get up in the mix as well. So you would at least have a position on him heading into Sunday morning.
Yeah, I'm looking at Patrick Cantlay. I thought Patrick Cantlay left a lot on the table yesterday. I thought his putting stroke was really good. He missed a couple of, I wouldn't say short ones, but he seems dialed in. And we've noticed the last 2 tournaments, Patrick Cantlay has been very dialed in. And I think it's translating here too. So at plus 1,800, listen, we if you watch the early wedge, you already got it at plus 4,500. But even in the top 5, top 10 market at plus 240, top 10, minus 110, I don't hate that because I do think he is a lot more talented than some of these guys that are lurking in that top 10, top 15 range. Mike, it looked like you had something to add on.
Yeah, I was just going to add to Cantlay. It's been a disappointing season for him, but his last 2 tournaments have been his best 2 tournaments, and he's continuing that here. Almost went bogey-free today, which is truly incredible to almost go bogey-free while still racking up birdies, not just par across the board. Very impressive round. So yeah, I think Patrick Cantlay is all the way back.
Yeah. Buckets, is Freya doing okay? We need a Freya update. Is your carpet doing okay?
You might have noticed I changed shirts while I was cleaning it up. Freya got zoomies and bumped me into it, and I fell on the floor. So we're having a morning here, but it's fine as long as I mean the day can't get worse, right? That's what matters.
Well,
Yes.
it's only 10:20, but I guess that is an optimistic viewpoint. Anything to before we get to the recap screen, Buckets? Anything soccer related? You probably weren't really truly up to speed on the chat because you had stuff to take care of. But anything to add before we get out of here?
The last thing I'll add, and Bradley Jacobs mentioned this in the chat, the Danish Superligaen starts today, and there's a match between AGF Aarhus and Midtjylland. If I had to take a lean on that game, I'm going both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Midtjylland is not a team that likes to play slow or start their season slow, but it is the first game back, so just be a little bit careful with that one.
All right,
I've got soccer news.
Yeah.
CBS announced that they are renewing their Serie A rights. So all of the Serie A matches, Coppa Italia, all going to be on CBS Sports Family Networks and Paramount Plus. Fired up about that.
They also,
you
I didn't know that, but I did know they just picked up the rights to all the EFL matches. So English Championship's going to be on Paramount Plus as well.
I totally know what that is. That is awesome. That is really good stuff. Eric David pointing out that there's boosts everywhere for the Open Championship. So don't forget, some like BetMGM is really good about like putting it in your face where the boost is, what the promotion is. Some sports books not quite as good as that, even though they have great promotions. So make sure you look out for that stuff. You might get an 18% boost or a free token or whatever the case may be. When these big tournaments roll around, they usually give you kind of a splash play. So don't forget about stuff like that. Eric David, thanks for pointing that out. All right. I think that's it. Let's take a look at the recap screen before we get out of here. Round 2, 3 ball. This one literally just started, like, no joke, 25 seconds ago. So hopefully you were listening on the front end. Keegan Bradley plus 125 over Will Zalatoris and Gordon Sargent. Buckets, Riga FC versus Jelgava over 1.5 goals. First half, minus 125. Sirius XM Radio. No, Sirius versus Malmo Isaac Thielen. Anytime goal score plus 100. I'm probably screwing this up, Buckets. Mike McClure, Astros money line plus 105. Chip Patterson, Open Championship live bet. Justin Rose, top 10 plus 200. We're going to be monitoring this Open Championship. If I have any updates, we'll try to get them out there via Twitter and whatnot. Always ask your questions, not just to me when it comes to golf. Obviously, Chip Patterson and Mike McClure, tweet at us. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. And we're still seeing picks coming in. Marcus Simeon over a half run RBI from Big Cheesy at minus 110. Sirius XM versus Adam Thielen, says Bradley Jacobs. Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me as well. Thanks for putting all these picks in the chat. Let's have an amazing Friday. Don't forget, in your feed right now, your podcast feed, but also on YouTube, the network show, the NFC Championship part of that show, which was really the whole show, it's in your feed right now. You're not going to want to miss that. That was Katie Mox hosting, and of course, Prop Stars, Mike McClure, I believe RJ White was on that one. That's the information you need. You're also going to want to go to SportsLine, go to sportsline.com and get the team-by-team previews. Every single NFL teams, of course, comes with the simulations and the model picks and the daily picks, which I'm sure we'll have them flooding in on baseball as this weekend carries on. So always check out Sportsline for all that content. Again, let's have a great Friday on behalf of Mike McClure, Chip Patterson, or is it Pip Chatterson or Skip Patterson? I'm not even sure. Buckets and Freya. Let's hope the day gets better for both of them. There's no more incidents. And then, of course, Harry on the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. Again, have a positive Friday. Let's cash some tickets. Let's win more on some golf and baseball and soccer. This is the Early Edge. I'm the counselor. We rest our case.